This is factorisation with negatives and fractions, and really it goes into algebraic fractions where you've got to end up expanding, factorising and then simplifying. So first of all, just looking at these, you've just got to realise that when you expand these, 3 times 2 is 6a and 3 times b is 3b. And the reason they got the negative one out there, you've just got to realise that when you multiply by a negative, you get a positive. Minus 3 times b is minus 3b. Minus 3 times 2b is plus 2a is plus 6a. Okay, so a minus times a minus is a plus. If you had b plus 2a, then minus 3 times b is minus 3b. Minus 3 times plus 2 is minus 6a. So you notice that, the sign changes in the middle, the minus 3. So the minus 3 changes the sign in the middle. So what's the difference between this? 2a minus b and b minus 2a. Okay, so really, if you rearrange this and that's minus 2a plus b, there is a difference of a minus 1. Like if you took a minus 1 out here, minus 1 times 2a is minus 2a. Minus 1 times minus b will give me the plus b. So if you take the minus out, it switches it around. Okay, so one thing that the concept that looks like it's going to come up in here is that like a minus b is equal to minus 1 b minus a. So they're the same thing, they just differ by a sign. Because if you expand that, so you get minus 1b, which is minus b. Minus 1 times minus a is plus a. So it's b minus a. So they're the same thing, they just differ by a sign of minus 1. Now, think about that as like, if you have 2 minus 3, you get minus 1, and 3 minus 2, you get 1. See, they're the same thing, they just differ by a factor of minus 1. So if you come to the next one, what do you notice about this? Like if you took out a minus 1, then you would have the same thing. They're the same thing, it just swaps it around. Okay, factorise these expressions. Now I just want to focus in on the one that has the minus. So when there's a minus there, you must take the minus out the front. So you've got 18 there and 6. So 6 goes into both of those. G and H, there's no common factor. So minus 6 times 3 gives you minus 18, so it's 3G. Minus 6 times H, so you want to get a plus in the middle there. A minus times a minus is a plus. Okay, so you've got to change that sign in the middle. So when you take the minus out, change the sign in the middle. Looking at this one, what goes into 20, 24 and 15? That would be 3. S, T and D, no common factor there. You must take the minus 3 out. So if there's a minus out the front, you've got to take it out. So let's go 3. No, it's not 3, sorry. 20, 24 and 15. There is actually no common factor. That's really tricky. But we can take out a minus 1. Okay, so minus 1 times what gives you minus 20? Minus 20s. Minus 1 times 24. A minus times a minus is a plus. So that has to become minus 24t. And minus what gives you minus 15? Minus times a plus gives you 15d. Okay, so let's just look at that again. If I have minus a plus b and I want to factorise that, the only factor there is a minus 1. So minus 1 times a is minus 1. A minus times a minus is a plus. So that must be a minus in the middle. And let's do minus a minus b. Take out a minus 1. Minus 1 times a is minus a. A minus times a plus will give you that minus. So you've got to change the sign. So notice the sign changed here from minus to plus, and the sign changed here from plus to minus. And also notice that I did take out a minus factor out the front each time. Alright, so let's just keep going on that. So with these next lot here, all we're doing is taking out the common factor. So what goes into 21 and 28, which is 7. 7 3s, so it's 3G, and 7 4s, 4H. But then what we're doing is we are comparing it to the letters. So we're going X, 3G plus H on H. So that means when you match that up, the X goes with the 7, the 3G with the 3G, the 4H the minus 4h with the minus 4h. So that means the x will equal the 7. 3g is not important. Minus 4h equals plus 4h, so the big h must be equal to the minus 4. If we're looking at this one here, see how there's got a minus there? You have to take the minus out. So to be minus, common factor 4, there's no letters that are common. 4 4s are 16, 16a. 4 3s are 12, 3b. 4 5s are 20, okay? And then if you match it up, that would be x 4a plus bb plus cc. So matching it up, the x equals the minus 4, the 3b equals the b, so that means that big B equals the 3, and the minus 5c equals the cc, so that means big C equals the minus 5, because that's the thing in front of the cc. These ones with fractions, you're doing the very similar thing, that you've got to factorise. So take a 3 out of the 12 and the 9. So 3 4s are 12, so it's 4x. 3 3s are 9, so that's 9y, all over 3. And then you cancel, so you get 4x minus 4y. Now when you cancel the 3 with the 3, there's actually a 1 there. So you've got this situation, 4x minus 3y. Okay, and we're comparing it to a yx minus 4 minus 4x. So there's a bit of a problem here in that it's back to front. So it's 1 4x minus 3y. So 1, so let's write minus 4x. Oh dear, so that is really kind of confusing. So if we look at that, we've got plus. We've got the problem here that we have that minus. So it's minus 4x plus y. And the signs just don't match up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4x minus the 3y, and I'm going to make it 3y plus 4x, because we want to put the y's first. And then I'm going to take a factor of minus 1 out. So that would make that 3y, and a minus times a minus is a plus 4x. Because when I do that, that actually matches up with the question. So that's a y minus 4x. And now the minus 4x, you notice the minus 4x matches up. So that means that the a will equal minus 1, and the y will equal 3. So some of these you might have to then re-factorise to get it in the right formula. You might have to take out an extra minus to do that. So with these, I'm going to go straight to the one at the end, because it's probably one of the hardest. You get 12f minus 18g, and then plus 6f plus 3h. Okay, so you go 6 times 2 is 12f, 6 times 3 is 18g, 2 3s are 6, so 6f, 3h, 3 times h, minus 3 times minus 3 is 9g, minus times a minus 3 times minus 2 is plus 6h, all over 3. Are there any like terms? So let's just check this out. Any f's? Yep. So that would be 6 and 12 is 18f. Any g's? Let's have a look. Minus 18g, minus 9g. So minus 18 minus the 27g. 6f, we have done that. H is 3h, that'll be 9h, and that's all over 3. Is there a common factor? Yes, 3. There's actually a common factor of 9. I might take that out, because you should take out the HCF. 2 9s are 18, so that should be 2f. 3 9s are 27, 27g, and h, so plus h, all over 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So then I'm just going to expand that, so you get 6f minus 9g plus 3h. And what are we comparing this to? We're comparing it to, now we've got AF, 3G, and H. That's actually not too bad. So it's AF I thought maybe we might have to take out a negative. So AFF plus 3G plus HH. I thought it might be like that last one. Okay, so if we look at this, then we've got AF. There's nothing for the A, so we just put a 1 there. And we end up with A equals 1, big F equals 6. Now, what's happening with the 3 and the G? Oh, yes, that's not working. So, now let's just regather. If we go back up to this line that was above here, and I just rewrite that, then that compares a bit better. I think 2F plus 3G plus HH. But we still, if we look at this, we still have a bit of a problem because we have plus 3G, not minus 3G. So we do have to, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a minus out. So if I take a minus out with the A, that's going to change. Now I can see what I've done here. That's not a 2 there, in there. That's an FF, so I'm going to make that an FF. So like I was saying, this nearly works out. We just have to take a minus out because you've got a minus 3G there. So if you take a minus A, then that would be minus 2F, look at the left, minus 3G, and then minus HH. And then when you're comparing it to the thing that you want, which is 3FF minus 3G minus plus H, then the things will match up. So you can see the minus 3 goes with the minus A, FF with the minus 2F, minus 3 with minus 3, that matches, and H with H. So when we're doing this, then let's have a look. Minus A equals 3, so that means A would be minus 3. Big F equals minus 2, because that's what matches up. These are good. And the minus H equals 1H. So minus H equals 1H. So that means that minus H equals the 1, sorry. So that means that H equals minus 1. Pretty hard question. And just do the very last one, because that's probably got lots to give. 2 times 3 is 6b. 2 times A is minus 2a. Minus 2 times B is minus 2b. Minus 2 times minus C is plus 2c. 6 times A is 6a. 6 times C is 6c. All over 8. Collect the like terms. 6b plus minus 2b is 4b. Minus 2a plus 6a is 4a. Minus 2b, I've done the b's, plus 2c plus 6c is 8c, all over 8. Common factor of 4, that's b plus a plus 2c, because 2 4s are 8, over 8. 4 cancels, you get 2. Now let's just look at this. When you've got the fraction thing happening there, you take the half out the front, because it's like if you have 3 plus 2 over 2, it's the same as 3 over 2 plus 2 over 2. You can also see it as a half times 3 plus 2. Like you can factorise out the common factor. So this here is still on top, because we're going to compare that. The 2 is on the bottom, and there is a 1 on the top here. So when we're putting the x, and we have a plus b plus 2c, the x will equal a half, and there's actually no other letters to find, and then we're done. So when you're doing these ones here, it's about, like, you know, even this first one, you expand, simplify, and then if you end up with something like, you know, a plus 5, c plus 8, let's go, 2a plus 4b plus 6 on 3, factorise that out, so you get 2a plus 2b plus 3 on 3. And then what you need to do is you need to take that fraction out the front so that you can compare it to the other one. So it's 2 on 3, a plus 2b plus 3. So then that will be, like if you've got this, that means that your x, or whatever letter you have out the front, will equal the 2 on 3.